back to Tour Truck Tuesday. It's 2022. I am here at the Kingdom with new fixture. Look at that, if you can see it out there. TrackMan range has been added. This place just keeps getting better. But what am I doing here? What am I testing out? Well, of course, it's the new Stealth. No doubt you've been looking at all the reviews. You've heard all about it. What is the crack? Do you need me to explain it to you? I'm going to talk about today the process I've gone through and am going through to get dialed in and get into my Stealth driver. Couple of little things I'm adjusting when it comes to spec and setup that's going to give you the most out of these golf clubs. But firstly, the 60 layers of carbon. What is this all about? It's going to be over 40% lighter than your previous Sim 2 face. So the energy at which you get into the golf ball, the energy transfer, that's the whole purpose of this, that's how it's been designed, is going to increase. You're going to get more speed off this face from the energy that you as the golfer put in to the golf ball. So you should be able to hit what's called on TrackMan or any launch monitor you use a more efficient smash factor. The energy transfer should be greater. You should get more speed out of this. But all this stuff, as you've seen on the reviews, it only comes true if you get fitted correctly for the golf club. And when it comes to working on tour, of which I've been doing now for over 15 years, when it comes to fitting the best players in the world, there are things that you need to do. This face has been designed to give you efficiency. It's got a nano texture layer. What is that? It's a fancy word. Yep, what's it mean? Touch it. When you go into the golf shop, I know you want to try this thing out. There's a reason that it's red, so that you're attracted to it. That's the whole purpose of it. When you put it down, when you put the carbon wood down and you see the red face, it doesn't look offensive at all from the player's view. You can hardly notice it. I know that tour players want to see a contrast, a slight contrast, because they want the paint lines. They want to be able to align that bad boy at the target, which, as you know from regular viewers, is going to be the lamppost on the street. I've got my alignment stick down. I'm not going to go through why all that again. You know why. Because I want to be set up perpendicular. I want something to measure. If you're out there testing or you're fitting, get an alignment stick down to get people aimed perpendicular to the target. Back to the nano texture. It took the engineers here 20 years to come up with this. Why, when you feel it, it's got full face score lines to help control the spin, but the nano texture also is going to give you an efficiency. It's going to control that spin. So on off-center strikes, it's not going to do anything funky. That's how you're getting this 40% lighter face, which then gives you more mass to be redistributed in the rear, in the crown, in the body, to put speed behind the golf ball. Think about it as a collision coming in. If you've got that mass behind it, it's going to give you energy. But that also gets you down a fitting route. And one of the things you'll be able to do this year, when you go and get a club fitting, you'll be able to change the weights at the back. When you do your fitting, you'll be able to change that. I think it's called TPS weight. Don't quote me on it. Pretty sure that's what it's called. So if you can change that weight at the back, it brings me back into, bear with me now, swing weights. I've hammered you about this before. I've talked to you about this before. If you haven't learnt about it, I've got a very short video on swing weights and balance points. When I go out on the road here in Honolulu next week, as you're watching it, it's today, I'll be there. We will talk about swing weights. What are swing weights? They are balance points. It's the mass. If the engineers have gone to that much trouble to come up with a carbon wood that's over 40% lighter than the previous head, they want you to tackle this mass. They're redistributing the mass for you to give you energy transfer. That's the whole point of it. But you as fitters, or you as golfers, or you as players, you should also learn what swing weight you can play. This is D5. That's quite heavy. It's a letter and a number that gives you the balance point. It's the relation of the head weight to the golf shaft. This is 46 inches, the legal limit now. I can't hit Sim 2. You've seen my speeds on Sim 2. They're 170-ish. If you watch the channel, a great one for me is 170. I live around 165, 166. But as you start to get quicker, 170, that was at 46 and a quarter. I was beyond legal before the rules came in. So I've had to take the golf shaft and cut it back to 46 end of grip. So that shackles me a bit. But how am I getting the speed? Well, I've got two shafts here. One of them is Counterbalance. One of them, both the same brand, one of them is not. And you'll see, I've already hit, because I've done some testing before we came on the camera, I've already hit some shots with the non-Counterbalance one. But to get the correct swing weight, because a golf shaft obviously, now keep with me here, simple physics, with Counterbalance means you've got more weight at the butt end of the golf club. There's more weight back here. So think again about the scales. If I'm using the non-Counterbalance, it has less weight back here, I don't need as much weight in the head to find my balance point, the D5 balance point that I'm looking for. Yes, D5's a bit heavy, but I know that gives me speed. I want mass on the head to strike and hit it further. Also, if it's a little bit heavier and the weight is at the back, the MOI, I can't think of an easier way to say it, but it's the moment of inertia. The twister impact is reduced if you've got weight back. Weight back. Well, why have we got weight back? Because the face is 40% lighter, we can put weight back. Now all of a sudden, if I hit this one that's not counterbalanced, you can see speeds aren't great and I get a couple of squirrely ones. But if I take advantage of the counterbalance, which means there's more mass between my hand and grip, and then I can put more weight in the head. I think it's a 6 gram weight in that TPS at the back versus the 1 gram of the other one. To obtain D5, you will then see, and I'll strike some for you now, that I'm able to get the speed up where I need to live. I'm able to get, and when I say where I need to live, it's not of course where I need to live, but the whole purpose of a driver, it's exactly that, isn't it? Driver, speed. I want speed. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm taking advantage, and I'll press you guys to take advantage. TPS weights are available to you now. Swing weight adjustment is available to you. Learn about it, especially the fitters out there. Get your consumers doing it, because if you can get the weight up in the head and the mass up, you're going to have customers coming in. People who are trying this out there, if you're watching this video and you want to try the 60 layers of carbon, you want to try the Stealth, you're going to be going 46. Because if you're not, I think you're crazy, because you should dial in the distances. Now, I'm not as efficient today as I have been. We're all victim to a little bit of a Christmas break, holiday break. I'm a little bit steep, but I'm still able to get some shots here that are coming up in the high 160s. So this is with the weight back. This is at 46. I'm going to get into what else I've done in order to give me a little bit of an advantage to be optimal. I mean, just watch it. Watch it. Enjoy it. 167. This is not normalized. 290 total, 280. Normalized 302, 277. Club path 3.5 left. Attack angle down 1. That's why I know it's not the most efficient. But the speed is there. The possibilities are there. Okay, let's find some rhythm now. That was a great hit. A good starter. A good starter. 167. I mean, that's nice. And you could see from the ones before I was 164. So just by going more mass counterbalanced, I'm gaining speed on a nice starter. Went after that one a hair more, because the club's heavier, you can feel the transition more. It keeps it under control. Pulled it a bit, so I'm going to be honest with you. But you know what? Paul McGinley, who I used to work with out on the European Tour, he made a career off pulling it. 170 ball speed. It's 2 shots. I'm not out here to bang millions of golf balls. I'm testing a damn driver. That's the other thing that I want you to listen to when you come for a club fitting. Do not get into the realm of boom, 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 boom. Hit, look, be honest. That was a pull. Guess what? 170 ball speed, 312 total, 2200, 10.6. I'm done and dusted. That's it. That's it. I've just found a legit driver off of I've got another bucket of balls somewhere, another bag of balls. Found a legit driver from half a bucket of balls and hit 6 irons loosening up. As easy as that. Because I played around with the weights, I understood the technology, I went with the lighter face, I get what they're doing there. I'm going to increase my swing weight. I'm going to play 46. I used to play 46 and a quarter. I've come back down because of legal limits. I've got more mass here, more mass here. I've taken advantage of everything and I'm hitting bombs. I don't see how you can't realise the technology. If someone at TaylorMade who's smarter than me has spent 20 years coming up with nano texture to control the spin on shots, and that's what the early feedback is from Maui, from the Tournament of Champions, from guys who've been testing this thing, they've done the great job. Now what you need to do as a player and a fitter is understand swing weight, mass, take it up, get dialed, because if you do that, well, you end up with absolute nukes. Okay, the final little nugget of this video, you're going to just have to let me hit one more because I want to, no other reason. Underneath it a bit, not bad. 168. Again, I'm not hitting balls every 30 seconds here. I'm giving you a break in between. It's real life. It's how it would be on a golf course. Using the TP5X golf ball because I like that for spin rate control. That one was a little under it. It was a little spinny, but it's still 168 because my driver, I want to go far. It's still gone 298 normalized. Okay, what was I going to tell you? Well, 8 degrees. That's what I've got into recently. Spin loft, okay? It's a number you look at. It is your attack angle against your dynamic loft. It gives you a spin loft number. I'm not going to get deep into that. You know my style by now. I don't like to confuse people. However, 8 degrees is not a lot of loft. One of the things I noticed, the best drives of the golf ball, Dustin Johnson, is excluded from this, but that's because dynamically, you've seen him do that. Look at the loft on the blade. Dynamically delivers less loft into the golf ball than most of us normal humans because he's legit. But for us guys, and for the tour players that we can learn from, and what I've learned from, less loft, more speed, because you're not losing the ball up the face. You're not losing energy. So if you can get into less loft, you are going to have to play around with that yourself. You are going to have to play around with longer. You are going to have to play around with swing weight. Just because I've found what's working for me, and I have after a few balls, you don't get many balls in these bags at the Kingdom. So, after a few drivers, I've found out what's working for me. It's playing less loft. I found that out middle of last year. It's going longer. I'm at 46. It's getting heavier. You might want to take one of those elements to find the best stealth for you. You've got to work with a fitter to find that. That's the whole point of having a fitting. If you go into a rack and you spend the money on this and you get it, fantastic, I hope it works for you. But if you get a fitting, you can be absolutely dialed on it. And that's why we've brought in the swing weight changes. That's why we've done it, so you can experiment with it. But another place you should look at is if you as a player can deliver less loft more efficiently, because I've got more weight at the back there, the MOI is high now, the reduction to twist, then you're going to get more efficient numbers. And if you can get one, let me see if I can do it for you. Yeah, that'll be close. That'll be real close. If you can get one like that, little bit higher in the blade, turning over 2081 spin, 171 ball speed, 315 total normalized, land angle quite flat, 34. By me playing 8, I can hit that golf shot, which means I can get it screaming up the fairway. I'll come back later in the year and I'll talk to you about spin rates and I'll explain them deeper. But I can't press enough. And I think those few shots I've hit and the little bit of work I've done here to find this driver have shown to you that there's so much in fitting. I can't be on much more optimal than that. But 171.2 ball speed off a few shots, using the ground, turning, doing your fitness stuff, keeping your mobility, going longer, going D5, so the head weight's up because I've got more mass in the counterbalance, and using less loft so I can hit the knuckle bomb. I found it. That's what it took, and it's over. It's done. I'm ready to go play. Then the real test comes. You leave the fitting room, you leave the TrackMan, you go on the golf course, and you hit shapes if you need to, and of course you revisit it with a really good 3-wood, and you make some decisions there. Do I want a rocket 3-wood if the fairway's really tight and I have to hit it, or do I want a spinny 3-wood that's my safety play? But that is another video. I hope this helps. Subscribe and follow. There might be a lot there for you, but it's important. It really is. Go back, look at sections of this video slowly. If you want to get the right driver, you have to start being honest with yourself. I can't say any more about it. You have to get custom fit, and you have to learn about swing weights because they change everything. Good luck. Hit me up with some questions in the comments below if you really need them, and I'll get back to you.